Romans chapter 11 verses 33 to 36. From God and through him, and for him are all things. Oh, the depth of the riches and wisdom and knowledge of God! How inscrutable, mysterious, are his judgments and how unsearchable his ways! For who has known the mind of the Lord, or who has been his, or who has given the Lord anything, that he may be repaid? For from him, and through him, and for him are all things. To him be glory forever. Amen. The word of the Lord. This reading is a prayer of praise, because God's wisdom is far beyond the understanding of humans, and entitles God to all the glory of his works. As humans we discover things, but it is important to remember, that we do just that, we discover what God has already created. Isaiah 40:13, who has directed the Spirit of the Lord, or instructed him, as his counselor. Isaiah is pointing out, that no human being knows God's plan, unless God has chosen to reveal it to them. No one can claim to be God's advisor, because God has total wisdom, and he is in no need of human advice. No one can give anything to God he does not have because God has created everything before we discovered it. Do you like to think you are in control of your life? How do you feel when your planning, doesn't work out as planned? Do you become angry, frustrated and seek others to blame because your plan didn't work? Consider for a moment the story of an executive who bought a new pair of shoes. As he walked from the subway, he developed a painful blister. If he stopped to buy a Band-Aid, he would be late for work, and a meeting. The pain increased, he stopped, bought the Band-Aid, and because he did, he went home early that day. God had a plan, the pain that forced a change in the man's well-laid plans. Like it or not, the man was just where God wanted him to be. You see, God wanted the man in the drugstore, with his shoe off, placing a Band-Aid on his foot, when his office in the Twin Towers fell on September 11, 2001. God's wisdom, his understanding, and his love sent the man home to his wife and family. Even Jesus had a plan in the garden, and even Jesus said, "Not my will but yours be done." When your plans don't work out, don't become angry, don't become frustrated, become accepting of God's will, taking an active part in your life. Which would you, a coffin of plan completion or a Band-Aid on your failed plan? Paul's prayer praises God for his wisdom and his plan. God presides over the universe in control. All of us are dependent upon God. He is the source of all things, including the life we are presently living. Clearly, all things come from God, so it naturally follows that he deserves honor, praise, and thanksgiving. Deuteronomy 31 verse 8, "It is the Lord who marches before you, he will be with you, and will never fail you, or forsake, or abandon you. So do not fear or be dismayed."